The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
319, 258.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. After the interception, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's McKissick. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met him in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
These two teams met in week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now, remember, they also met in the NFC title game in the 2014 season. It was the Seahawks who prevailed there 28-22 on a Jermaine Kearse touchdown catch in overtime. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw again. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Rodgers again now. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them. And also, it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Wilson to throw. It's caught right side. Dixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A carry now for McKissick. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rodgers now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Throwing is Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now Wilson. Out to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing now is Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will get him one closer. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes Brandon Marshall and the rest of the offense as they gear up to go again. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Now Wilson, and that's incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. But guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away. Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle but couldn't spring himself free. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
319. 258.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Rodgers now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll make it 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Janikowski bangs it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Penny, a first down carry. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now Rodgers. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now we'll see what Brandon Marshall and the offense has in store this go-around. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Now Wilson on second down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. There's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
319.
On first down, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. In the early games, a lot of good matchups, one being in Indianapolis. A tough one for the Colts, as they'll have to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Oakland Raiders. And finally, on Cyber Monday, put away the credit card and join Monday Night Football, as the Titans pay a visit to their former home in Houston. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is a do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The big fella. He's at the 40. The 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 50 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but was 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
319.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And the Packers are in for the score.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. Gets around him. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. With it is Jackson. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
319.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois. And defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Packers continue to roll. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Now Wilson operating from the gun. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, Wilson throws left side complete to Brandon Marshall. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
They should have put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. To throw again is Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Wilson will throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down. Again, Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. After the penalty, it's Penny. He will push his way down to about the 14. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Here's Carson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Well, as the play call comes in on third down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
The Seahawks on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now Russell Wilson appears to be shaken up. And you know they're holding their breath over on that sideline. He's still down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will narrow this, if that's even the right word, to a 30-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Throwing now is Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. To throw, it's Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. Now a loose football, the ball comes out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their 2nd meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Hey. 319! 319!
Montgomery on the counter. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
319!
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Green Bay, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.